From Public Radio International, this is The World. A co-production of the BBC World Service, PRI, and WGBH Boston. It's Thursday, May 20th. I'm Marco Werman. More stock market worries today, fueled by an ongoing concern about the euro. Also, Google's Street Map program is packed with information, maybe too much. European officials say Google is invading people's privacy. Also, the Scottish band The Proclaimers and why punk was just what they needed.
We were already playing in bands, but we weren't very good and we didn't know many chords, so punk music was kind of perfect for us, and the energy it had was fantastic, and that influenced what we did a lot.
Now this news.
BBC News with David Legg. Scientists in the United States have developed what they're calling synthetic life. Writing in the journal Science, a team led by Craig Venter in Maryland says it's made the genes for a living cell from 4 chemicals. Experts say it's a major step towards the creation of artificial life. Julian Siddle explains how the breakthrough was achieved.
A computer program was used to help assemble bacterium genes from a soup of chemicals. After growing this DNA in yeast, it was transferred to a cell that had been emptied of its own DNA. The new DNA soon took over the cell's functions and has now replicated itself billions of times. The work was supervised by Craig Venter, a scientist at the centre of previous controversies over the ownership and manipulation of genes. He says he wants to use the new technique to engineer organisms that could produce oil and food or clean up pollution.
Stock markets around the world have suffered further falls amid continuing uncertainty about the European debt crisis. Major markets in Europe lost around 2% of their value. Here's our economics correspondent Andrew Walker.
The worries in the markets about Europe won't go away. At bottom, the concern is the debt crisis hanging over some countries using the euro. They have agreed a financial safety net among themselves, but there are still major uncertainties about how it would work. There are also expectations in the markets that austerity measures in countries with debt problems will further weaken their economic growth prospects. The European issues for the markets were aggravated by news from the United States, an unexpected rise in the number of people making new claims for unemployment benefits.
The United States has warned that North Korea will face consequences for its alleged torpedo attack on a South Korean warship. Officials at the White House, the State Department and the Pentagon gave no details but described the sinking of the ship as unprovoked aggression. South Korea earlier displayed the remains of a North Korean torpedo after an international investigation found the North responsible. Football's world governing body, FIFA, says less than 2% of tickets sold for the World Cup in South Africa have gone to Africans living outside the host country. FIFA's General Secretary, Jérôme Valk, said just 40,000 tickets have been sold to people in other parts of the continent, amounting to about 11,000 visitors, far short of the numbers hoped for when South Africa was awarded Africa's first World Cup. A prosecutor at the Special Court for Sierra Leone wants to hear testimony from the model Naomi Campbell in a case against the former Liberian President Charles Taylor. Ms. Campbell allegedly received a blood diamond from Mr. Taylor after a dinner hosted by Nelson Mandela in South Africa 13 years ago. The actress Mia Farrow said Ms. Campbell told her that she was awoken in the middle of the night by a group of men who presented her with a large rough-cut diamond. Diamonds allegedly funded Mr. Taylor's arms purchases. World News from the BBC. The president of Cuba, Raul Castro, has held a rare meeting with leading members of the Roman Catholic Church on the island. The talks came ahead of a visit next month by the Vatican Foreign Secretary. From Havana, Michael Voss.
The official Communist Party newspaper Granma showed a photograph of a smiling President Raul Castro greeting Cardinal Jaime Ortega, head of the Catholic Church in Cuba, along with the Archbishop of Santiago, Dionisio Garcia. The meeting, the paper said, discussed various international and domestic issues, as well as the favourable development of relations between the Catholic Church and the state. Church sources indicate that the talks also touched on the fate of